You've got to give. Yes, I'm standing 10 feet tall.
This is Fit FM.
Fit FM 96.7.
96.7.
Duncan's Trelawney.
Duncan's Trelawney.
Fit FM is owned and operated by Communistation Company Limited, located in Stuart Castle, Duncan's Trelawney, Jamaica. We broadcast on FM 96.7 locally and is heard worldwide on fitfmja.com. Our mission is to amplify diverse voices and opinions, inform, educate, entertain, and engage listeners of all ages and lifestyle while promoting responsible community development. Fit FM 96.7, your life, your music.
Cultural Mix, an exciting radio show, identifying and showcasing cultural diversity across the world through music, interviews, and lively discussions. Join Bev Moonchild on Fit FM 96.7, Fridays 6 to 8 p.m. Cultural Mix, everything cultural. Tune in. Fit FM 96.7, your life, your music.
You've got to give. Yes, I'm standing 10 feet. Never let the system get you down. No way, no way. Never let it make you wear a frown. Well, you have only one life to live. So
know yourself, know your roots, know your culture. You're in tune to Cultural Mix with Bev Moonchild. Fit FM 96.7, Fridays 6 to 8 p.m. Imara said that.
I'm standing 10 feet tall, standing 10 feet tall, standing 10 above them all. Things may not be like you want them to be, yes, so be wise, you got to tread carefully. Well, there may be obstacles away. Just remember, Rome wasn't built in one day. I'm standing 10 feet tall, standing 10 feet tall, standing 10 feet tall. I'm standing 10 feet tall, standing 10 feet tall, standing 10 above them all. Living in this world of inequality, just make sure you keep your sanity. Yes, facing all kind of constraints every day. In this life, your dues you've got to pay. Yes,
I'm standing 10 feet tall, standing 10 feet tall, standing 10 feet tall. I'm standing 10 feet tall, standing 10 feet tall, standing 10 above them all. Oh Lord, we get clapped this evening. Can you imagine, people? It is so wonderful to be here this evening. It is what? Friday, and it is this not December yet, November. Today's what? November 18. The year soon done. November 18. It is Cultural Mix. I am here, Bev Moonchild, your host, and we are in the studio of Fit FM 96.7, your life, your music. So happy to be here. Well, guess what now? This evening we have a guest, and guess what? Wow, I can't wait to start talking with her. She has so much to share, Melody Ann Ra. We're going to be talking to her soon. Wow. She says she's a spiritual teacher. She is a fearless survivor of domestic violence that we're going to talk about. And she always say to me, numbers don't lie. So she talks about the numbers and so on and what they mean and how we are to pay attention to numbers when we see them appear, when we see them come before us. So we have a lot of stuff to talk about, Melody. But before we go to Melody, we just want to say thanks to everyone who you have been joining from day one. You continue to join us on Cultural Mix on a Friday evening. We are grateful. We are thankful. We say welcome one, welcome all. Akwaaba. Akwaaba to one, Akwaaba to all, wherever you are joining us from. Whether you're joining us on the 96.7 band or you're watching us live on Facebook or YouTube, or you are tuning into fitfmja.com. That's 24 hours. So if you tune into FitFM on www.fitfmja.com, you can listen to all the programs and you can also listen Cultural Mix. So if you're tuning in, we thank you so much. We thank the people who are tuning in from Trelawney, the people who are tuning in from St. Mary, the people who are tuning in from Canada, the people who are tuning in from Dubai, the people who are tuning in from Russia, the people who are tuning in from Ghana, from where? Beijing. Wow, fit Ghana yard. Believe yard gone abroad. We are big and we are grateful and we are thankful. So wherever you're joining us from, we just want to say Akwaaba, welcome one, welcome all. We have a nice program lined up for you. And in a little while, we're going to be talking to our guests. It is Friday, and we ask that you stay with us for the next 2 hours. We end at 8 p.m. I am Bev Moonchild, your host, and this is your Friday evening program, Cultural Mix. Before we talk to Melody, we are going to play a little music, and then we right back. We are playing Mama Africa from our sister over there in South Africa, Empress Naftali. Soon come back.
Mama Africa is calling. Mystery Babylon is falling. Children of Zion answering. I Selassie I the one commanding. Mama Africa is calling. Mystery Babylon is falling. Children of Zion answering. I Selassie I the one commanding. Standing firm in these Armageddon times. Never fret the unjust will pay for their crimes. Ancestral papers forced to our veins. How it is when the separation implemented on the roots of humanity. We'll be champions after enduring the brutality. Propagating slavery. Even in this time of modernity, Mama Africa is calling. Mystery Babylon is falling. Children of Zion answering. I Selassie I the one commanding. Mama Africa is calling. Mystery Babylon is falling. Children of Zion answering. I Selassie I the one commanding. We remember who we are when we let go of who it is we were taught to be. By those who never really want our innate power to reign freely. Shine your light, shine it bright. Children of the Most High is our purest delight. Go through him, the shackles that have been imposed will be broken when Babylon is deposed. Mama Africa is calling. Mystery Babylon is falling. Children of Zion answering. I Selassie I the one commanding. Mama Africa is calling. Mystery Babylon is falling. Children of Zion answering. I Selassie I the one commanding. I fuss and fight when we can love and unite. Jehovah blazing fire, ignite, removing the darkness from the light. Each one equal in charge of sight. Keep on hailing Selassie with all our might. Mama Africa is calling. Mystery Babylon is falling. Children of fire.
Cultural Mix, cultural diversity in music and lifestyle on Fit FM 96.7 with Bev Child. Your life, your music.
Some people seek for something better and lose out on the best. The perseverant ones overstep the value of stamina. About your own path, no need to follow the rest. It's crucial for job purpose to manifest. Once you overstand this, you are eternally blessed. And still rise up even when down pressed. Trust Jah will be there in the moments of being distressed. For the ones that I invite you back.
This is Fit FM 96.7. Duncan's Trelawney.
For surely he has covered the table, ensuring that honest child and I are capable. No need to falter because of bad-mindedness. Stay clear from all kinds of slackness. Even those who curse are in need of peacefulness. Often it's the deepest pain that leads them to this wickedness. There's a deeper healing that needs to occur. Pure love given abundantly causes the goodness in the wicked to stir. Pure love given abundantly causes the goodness in the wicked to stir. Are you the ones that I invite you up? Trusting Jah, I know He's able. For surely He has covered the table, ensuring that honest child and I are capable. Be open to love. Be wise enough to
Welcome back to Cultural Mix. I'm your host, Bev Moonchild, and we are in the studio of Fit FM 96.7, your life, your music. And as we talk about music, we are listening there to Empress Naftali out of South Africa. She's saying, trust in Jah, because He's able. Yes, love the music. Empress Naftali. I would have interviewed her a few months ago. Nice sister. So much things happening in Jamaica another week here, and some of them probably don't even need to talk about. But I'm saying one of the things that is happening that really I'm paying attention is the increase in road accidents. And I'm saying, is it just purely reckless driving that is happening? And I find that there is this corridor in St. Anne. Up to this morning, I hear there was an accident there at 8 o'clock in the Laughlands area. Something is happening out there. And was there an accident in Trelawney somewhere here over the weekend? I don't know if it is just pure reckless driving. Something seems to be happening on the roads, and we need to pay attention. Drive for others. This is the only time I would say do something that other persons, you consider other persons when you're doing it, because sometimes you are there, and paying attention to what you are to do on the road, and then bops, somebody just cross over on you. So you always have to be paying attention. And they call it driving. Always paying attention to the other persons while you have to be paying attention to what you're doing. Too much accidents leading up now into the mud season, but going faster than they normally do, and it is going to cause more accident because everybody just so impatient. Everybody wants somewhere to go. Everybody go somewhere and can't wait. They overtake you and just come right in front of you. Me say, wow, if you're going to overtake somebody, please, you should be way ahead of them when you're done. It is just careless sometimes, reckless on the roads. People, take it easy. Be careful as we head. Yes, from 5:30 start get dark. You wonder what we love this time of the year, but trust me, from 5 o'clock, the place start look dark. 6 o'clock look like midnight. We have to be careful on the roads. And for some people who don't like driving in the nights, they're rushing now to come off of the road by 4:35. Some people want to come off of the road. People, let us be careful. Let us take care. Late, already late. Just take a time. Too much accidents. We don't want to hear any more accident, terrible accident. One person dead and 20 people injured, gone from offline. That's a terrible, to be careful. We have to be careful. All right. Melody is a spiritual teacher. Melody, welcome, welcome, welcome. Are you hearing me? Melody and Ra, are you on? Are you hearing Melody? Unmute your microphone and talk with me. Make a song. Let me see if we can hear you. Melody, welcome to Cultural Mix. Are you able to hear? Not hearing her at all. Not hearing Melody. We are trying to connect with Melody and Ra, our guest for this evening, but we're having a little challenge. She's on, but it's just for the sound to come through. We're not hearing her at all. We really want to connect with Melody because she seemed to have an interesting story, things she wants to share, things she wants to talk about. So as soon as we sort that out, we will be talking. Let me see if I can get through to Melody, and then we come right back and pick up with the interview, because we really want to talk to her. She has a lot to talk about this evening. Well, let me get a message to her, and then we come right back. So give me a little minute, connector, and then we'll come right back. It's Cultural Mix. Bev Moonchild, your host. We'll be right back.
Some people seek for something better and lose out on the best. The perseverance ones overstand. The value of standing firm and stay past the test. Carve out your own path, no need to follow the rest. It's crucial for job purpose to manifest. You overstand this. You are only blessed. One can still rise up even when downgrades. Trust I will be there. Once I'll be straight. Are you the ones that I invite you? I know he's able. For surely he has prepared the table, ensuring that on his child and I are capable. No need to falter because of bad-mindedness. Stay clear from all kinds of slackness. Even those who curse are in need of peacefulness. Often it's the deepest pain that leads them to this wickedness. There's a deeper healing that needs to occur. Your love given abundantly causes the goodness in the wicked to stir. Your love given abundantly causes the goodness in the wicked to stir. Are you the ones that are invaluable? Trusting Jah, know He's able. For surely He has prepared the table, ensuring that on His child and I are capable. Be open to love. Be wise enough to decide. On this walk of life, things may be unsure, yet Jah has chosen for the hardest the ones that are invaluable. Trusting
Cultural Mix, cultural diversity in music and lifestyle on Fit FM 96.7 with Bev Moonchild.
Yeah, 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 ebb and flow of life. We rejoice after over strife. Any which way we go, from each on we go. Ebb and flow of life. We rejoice after over strife. Any which way we go, from each lesson we go. Everything in unison, nothing is out of place. Our ever-living creator is designated of time and space. We are not without purpose. We come to heal through being healed. All in time, this awareness is revealed. We teach by being humble enough to be taught. These pearls of wisdom can never be bought. Ebb and flow of life. We rejoice after all the strife. Any which way we go, from each lesson we go. Ebb and flow of life. We rejoice after.
Welcome to Israel with Bev Moonchild. Here in the studio of Fit FM 96.7. We're just trying to sort out a little technical glitch that we're having here with Melody as we try to connect. So she's on with her camera, but we're not hearing her at all. So she has unplugged and coming back on. But all will work out. And she's into numbers. So you hear she just WhatsApp me and says 19, everything balance. She's into numbers. She said numbers don't lie. So she just WhatsApp me 619, I suppose, is when the problem started. Everything balanced, she says. I am so wanting to talk to her about some numbers that, I have, that I want to get some information on her. But guess what? Somebody had said earlier when I posted on Facebook, I think his last name is Beru or something to that effect. He's Indian. He always talk about how he is Indian and Indian this and Indian that. And him say, boy, if you can understand your own numbers, that is where it should start. You should understand your own numbers. That is where it starts. But there are some of us who we weren't taught that at all. We are just learning for some of us in this time, that numbers bear a significance. And we are to pay attention when the numbers come. Sometimes they come on license plate. Sometimes they come on telephone numbers on your bank card and so on. Numbers, as I'm learning now, numbers have a significance. And they're very important in our lives and what we do daily. So Melody Ann, she will be talking to us later on about a lot of other things. I'm interested to hear too, because she says she's a fearless domestic violence survivor. So we want to talk about that. She says she can spot a narcissist from a mile or further than a mile. We want to talk about that too, because we have been seeing and hearing and understanding how sometimes the people you love, how they just turn against you, and all along the red flags would have been there and you wouldn't pay attention maybe, and it end up bad, So she's going to be talking from her experience, using her experience to empower others, using her experience to talk and to positively impact. We are going to be sorting out, though we are hoping that it is sorted out. But in the meantime, we want to just hail up some people here. My friend Gracia, Medea, thank you, my love, for joining us. Gracia Thompson and Jai. Jai says, I'm not hearing her. We are not hearing her either. That is what we are trying to sort out. Something wrong with the connection. Yes. Something wrong. It's been sorted out. Diane, yes. And Tavia Foster, greetings, my love. Everybody is here wanting to hear this discussion with Melody and Ra. Yes. In the meantime, there's this thing that I want to talk about. Maybe it's me not talk about it, but I think we need to have done on this. On Monday, was it Monday that they had the strike with the taxi drivers? there was this person. I don't know if he's a taxi driver or not, but from what we saw, he was ordering people to come out of a particular taxi. And then next thing we know, this same person, we see him somewhere collecting, I don't know what it was. I don't know if it's an award he was collecting, because that kind of confused me. This thing that he was collecting from the person at the radio station, I don't know. Is a prize for what? I mean, that is the part that confused me. I don't know what it was. This thing wrap and presented to him. I don't understand what it was. Anyway, him get him thing, and then me see him put on clown face because I'm saying he's a professional clown. Then me hear now there are some powerful companies that have withdrawn their sponsorship from this station. And I'm saying, wow. You have some media houses in Jamaica that they play derogatory music from morning till night. I'm telling you. They play music that is from morning till night. They play criminal instigated music. We're not saying for sponsorship, but have this look at down where we can't understand. I don't understand this presentation that was made. But I love to hear the reasoning behind the presentation, because I don't know what it is. All of a sudden, them a withdraw sponsorship. I'm kind of say, but this kind of very hypocritical, or is it smoke screen? What is it? Because if you are comfortable with derogatory music being played, withdraw your sponsorship. You're comfortable with withdraw your sponsorship. You're comfortable with music, a song about choppy and all kind of thing, and scamming and all these things. Gun tossing, you're going to withdraw sponsorship for. And I'm saying that is the heights of hypocrisy. And all the people who want to say serve them right, them sponsorship should be withdrawn. I don't have a problem with withdrawing sponsorship. But what have you withdrawn your sponsorship for, though? For 30 days. Me don't understand that. Come on, you corporations. Withdrawn the sponsorship. When you don't care zero about Jamaica, that is she on now? Let us see before me start ranting now, because me just never understand what was going on here. Melody, are you on now? Welcome, Melody.
I'm here, welcome, give thanks.
Tell me the time now, Melody. What number we're playing at now? What number we'll look at?
So we'll look on 629, everything balanced. The 6 and the 9.
The 6 and the 9, everything is balanced.
Yeah, yin and yen.
Yeah?
Duality, yin and yen.
Yin and yang, yes, everything balanced. Duality. Melody, welcome.
Thank you. The number 2 represents change.
Change. Okay. Thank you, Melody.
Easy, right?
Change is never easy.
Never easy. It doesn't make
never easy. Make it flow. Melody and Ra, where are you talking to us from?
I'm from Boston, Massachusetts.
Okay. But you have a Jamaica, you come from Jamaica?
Of course, born and grew up.
Yes. Where in Jamaica you born and grow?
So I always tell people my father was in the military, so I was a military brat. My mother is from Waltham Park Road. And so I was raised between the two line. Military girl, but in the ghetto.
Okay. And the military background, is it why you're so fearless?
Sir, I don't think it's a military background that make me fearless. I think as I was born what do you call it now? A fire sign. And fire have no fear. You know? It just get hot. But I can say as my father's firstborn, he wanted a boy so bad, and so I kind of raised a little rough. So you can say yes, military
Yes.
background has a part of it.
So tell me about the fire sign. Which sign is the fire sign?
So I'm the Sagittarius. I'm the one with the 4 legs and the 2 hands, and the only sign in the that has a weapon. So I'm the fire sign Sagittarius.
Fire sign.
Yes.
So for example, myself, April 23rd. Which sign is that now? What this?
Oh gosh. Okay. April 23rd. You sound like you're a Taurus.
Yeah.
Sound like you're a Taurus. So you're an earth sign.
Earth sign.
Yes.
So we're
I look
earth
like
sign.
a stubborn side.
Huh?
Look a stubborn.
Stubborn.
Yeah. You're
Some
planning
people
to
that say
see us.
some people that say not little stubborn, but enough stubborn.
No, stubborn. Hello, I have a Taurus. I know my firstborn is a Taurus.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
So tell me now about March 23.
So March 23, as far as what?
No man, the sign, like when I say April 23.
Okay. So the Taurus. So astrology is even though I study astrology, I can only tell it from my own personal experience. As I can say, the Taurus is very
So
stubborn.
March 23.
The 23rd.
Aries, March 23 is Aries. Is
Okay,
Aries.
all right. That's the Barda. Okay, so here we go now. So the Aries now, that's the first sign in the zodiac. This Aries is the leader, and that is a fire sign. Yeah, the Aries is one of the fire.
A fire sign. So Julia,
Aries.
fire sign.
Yes. You have Aries, you have the Sagittarius, and you have the Leos. Those are the fire signs. And for me,
fire sign. So Julia, fire sign.
yes. And for me, it is important to surround yourself with the right energy, right? So we're more than just signs. We're more than just teachers. We're more than just healers. We're energy first. And that's how I have to look at it.
Energy
sometimes.
first.
I have to look at everything as energy, yes. Right? Because as a fire sign, you feel hot when you if you get upset, or you prefer warm climates, it's everything is just energy, and for me, I have to surround myself with earth signs, because the earth elements, it stabilizes the fire. Water stabilizes the fire.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. So Melody,
Those are
go ahead.
You get it? Those are energies as well. So for me, being around another fire sign, I have to be careful, right? Because the room get hot when we're having a certain discussion. But as long as each element is balanced with itself, we all have our ups and our downs. But as long as each element is balanced, then everything can work in harmony. Just like the earth. The earth work in harmony every day. Mother Earth work in harmony every day. So we can too.
We're always the sister who know that there is something deeper in you. What is it that made you find this part of yourself?
I've always felt different. I don't want to say I've always been a loner, but I've always been a seeker of something deeper than myself. Can you see me?
I can see you and I can hear you. Yes.
Okay. So I've always been that child that just gone on my own, do my own thing. I would hear my grandmother say, every time I used to come look for you, you never there home yet. And that's how I am now. I just have to keep going, and just like the energy of fire, you never see fire stand up still yet. Fire is always moving. Whether it's a rage or it's a dance.
The camera is going off and on. We're seeing her now. Okay, yes.
Yeah. So
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
so I've always known that there was something different than me, and because I spend a lot of time by myself, it allows me to hear messages, to hear myself think,
Mhm.
to communicate with my higher self. There's duality in everything. There's an upper and a higher, a dark and a light, and we all have it in us. But it's us to have free will is to bring that two together. And I found myself after going through different traumatic experiences throughout my life. It's not just one, because them say 7 times rise, 7 times fall, right? So you have to fall a couple times to get to know how to get up back. And I think the more I got up is the more I got stronger and the more I know myself. But I didn't do it by myself. I didn't do it alone. I always have I call them my ancestors or my spiritual guides. They're always with me. They always have been with me.
For
and
those persons, the people who don't understand when you say ancestors, and it's not that they don't understand, but how we have been socialized, how we have been brought up, we don't communicate. We were not taught to honor ancestors. We were not taught to honor the dead. We were not taught to think about, even talk about people after they die, to say they are our guide and they are us and so on. Talk to the persons who need to come to that realization that our ancestors really are our guide and they are with us always.
Always. I can give all right, let me draw this this line for us, right? Because I can take it to religion, but that's how just draw out the whole program. I'm gonna make it clear. Now we have to ask ourselves why. How did we get to this point where we don't honor the ancestors? How did we get there? That's how we have to think about. How did we get there, right? We call Spanish Town name every day. We call Washington name every day. That is us. We call them every day. We call John every day. That is the call every day. So why are these people's ancestors, but we not call our one? How did we get to the point where we not call our ancestors, but we understand?
We're kind of breaking up a little, Melody. Right? Yeah, we're kind of freezing up a little with you. We just missed out some of the names that you were calling just now. Well, we know your energy and we know what's going on right here, so make we just take with time and go through. Make we take with time and go through, Yes, so it's a little unstable and we're missing out some of what you're saying. But you say we call Spanish Town name every day. Who else you say we call? Washington Boulevard, yes.
We call Washington. Right now I live on a street named Huntington even. That's the name of a person. All of these street names are the name of somebody who. Right? So we call them name every day and now realize that we're evoking, we're using power of our tongue to call the ancestors' name of somebody else that is not us. But then those people, right, have planted seeds in my grandmother, my great-grandmother, my great-great-grandmother to tell us, and not call for your ancestors, but call my ancestors.
Yeah, because when we are going to talk about King Street and Queen Street, and we talk about Princess Street, and we talk about Duke Street, who are those names that we are calling every day? And we talk about Cornwall Street, and we talk about Top Street. Who are those people that we are calling every day?
Thank you.
Thank you. Thinking about it now, I can understand, So we need to call our ancestors because words is power. And when we send out those powerful words, calling them street names, we are evoking Elizabeth Avenue and all these kind of things. No, we are keep them alive, not true?
We are the true source of their energy. Without us, they cannot survive. Once we start pulling ourselves away from their system, because we ourselves are a solar system. Our birth chart is made up of the sun, the moon, the Mercury, Venus, all of these planets is us. So when we start to realize these things now and pull ourselves away from them now and start going at ourselves now, them system is gonna fall and they know this. They They know this. And so when we start, and this is what I always say, because I watch Jamaican news all the time. Right now, I'm not even paying too much attention to it because to me it's a lot of distraction from the cause. The cause is to go in, dig in, repair what has been lost and stolen so that we can regenerate what is already in us. Because there's a lot of knowledge inside of us that they couldn't take because it's in our way. Remember, we're people that write things on walls and pictures. We're picture people. Right? Sometimes we get downloads, we don't know where it come from. It's not in a book. You know? And so when these messages come to us clear, we don't even know where them come from. Bob Marley is, they will say he's a poet, but Bob Marley's messages came through him through visions, through downloads, and then put it on paper and write, put music behind it. Bob Marley is no different than a man who can write a book and somebody read a poem or something, or the little boy on the street that says, look at that. You know what I'm saying? So the power is within us, but first we have to seek it inside of us. And stop. It's not outside, it's in.
And we tend to want to look outside for everything, not true?
Because that's what they taught us to do. Look up in the sky. To the coming of a king. Somebody is going to come. Them tell us to look up. No, inside of you.
Look inside for the answers.
Inside, yes. And once I started to do that, a matter of fact, I can tell you a story, is a journey. I was on a journey and in one of my relationships. 11 years I gave myself to this person, and it was hard. I was going to school. I was working full time. I was taking care of a young baby. I had a 2-year-old and a newborn, and it was my birthday. And I'm usually a jovial person. I'm usually the type of person, as a Sagittarius, the one that always look at the glass half full. You know, I'm usually the one that try to make everybody happy or make it, you know what I'm saying? And so I always say that my children came to me in order to heal me from this person, my ex-husband, right? And I didn't discover this until I started to study my birth chart. And so Mariah, my second girl child, she took a photograph of me. She took my phone and she took a photograph of me. And I didn't realize she took the picture until everything was done. Everybody ate cake and, you know, the baby went to sleep, and I started going through my phone and I noticed a picture that she took, and I said, wow, that is me. I didn't recognize the person. And what happened was for months and years, my family members were telling me, Melody, you changed, you look different, you know, something is not right. And this energy that I had, that was my husband, I can say, was sucking the life out of me energetically, and I didn't realize it until I looked at that picture. And it confirmed what my family was already seeing. And when I looked at myself in that moment, I realized that, okay, I forgot change. And once I started going in and stopped looking out and helping everybody, and when the phone called, I jump and pick up the phone every minute, and I started going in. I started doing my yoga. I started walking. I started eating healthy. I started saying no. You know, I started doing the little things for myself until I just got the strength, you know, to start doing more for myself. And that's how I started. But my journey,
what was he really doing? What was he doing to suck you dry? What was he doing?
So it wasn't physical, but it was mostly mental and financial. At one time it became physical, and I think that's because he realized that I was starting to go away from him. I was starting to do things, you know, hanging out with my friends more, you know, trying to do things independently. And when he realized that, he didn't like it, and he tried to stop me. One time I was going out with my friend for Berries come on me. I said, all right, now let's check out Berries. And we only had one vehicle at the time, and he took the vehicle, and I didn't have a ride. So I said, okay, call my girlfriend. I said, just come pick me up. Because one thing with Melody is when Melody said, Melody going north. All if the fire blaze, she go through the fire. That's how she said. And so anyways, I went to Berries, and he didn't know who picked me up at the time. He just looked out the window and see the person pick me up. So he not knowing nothing, because I never tell him nothing. And when I come back, he meet me in the driveway, and I hold the baby in my hand and he drape me up.
Him do?
Drape me up. Where I go, hook up, drape me up. And from I was a little girl, nobody not drape me up. Me not take drape up. When my father want beat me, me run. Me not take beating from no girl and no guy. And him drape me up and I said, okay, that is where you want to take this? And I just walk away. And when him realize what him do, him come in the living room, and I said to him, it is over. Me not in a fight with you, but me want to know say done. Because you're not gonna get a second time to come treat me up. Because one of we are going to jail and it's not gonna be me because me a pick for look after. And that was the moment when I said, okay. You know, and there was other incident too, because it bring me down to certain points. He was when we got married, I had a son previously, 2 children previously, and my son is a very mellow child. He's my water sign child. He's the one that keep me grounded. When the time it get hot, I him come to me and help me. And it was a technique that I taught him. That when mom gets upset, when mommy feel like she look like she want to tear down something, just that is the time when I need you to come hug me. Even if it look like me don't want it, just put your hand on me and squeeze me till me cool down. That's what I taught him. I taught him that when he was like 8 years old. And he still do it up to this day. Yes.
Wow.
He still do it up to this day. We are the first teachers.
How old is he now?
He just turned 19 last week.
And him still doing that to you?
He still do it today. So he keeps me grounded. And one day he wasn't treating Zakai right, and I didn't like it, you know? And like I said, I'm always trying to keep the house balanced. You know, if Zakai don't like something, we'll come and talk to Zakai, and, you know, try to keep everything balanced. But when I realized it wasn't being fair. And Mama Bear jump out, and Mama Bear say, hello, listen, him have a father, and him have family. Do not treat him like that. And when I stood up to this man and I saw that him back away, this man that I feared, when I see him back away from me like him, I said, wow. I realized that, wow, Melody, you're not as powerful as you think you are, but you have some power. Something is there. Something triggered this man. And that's when I started my journey. I said, okay, I can do this. Fearlessly. So I always say, even though I went through this fire, just going through this fire is what made me who I am today. I'm now stronger because I went through this fire.
How your children, though, were they able to identify that you were going through some kind of trauma? Because you say it wasn't always physical. It rarely was physical. Did they realize that their mother was going through something?
So my son, he's an empath. He sees things, he feels things just like I do. At the time, my daughter was about 4 or 5, so she not really a see, but my son would see things, you know, and he would say, Mom, are you okay? You know, but I kept things inside of me. I kept a lot of things in. And when I blaze, I just blaze, and then I go back inside again. You know, so my children they didn't see it. Yeah.
Wow. So Melody, when you decide that you're going to stand on your 2 foot now, and you're going to go through life now as somebody who fearless, because you not take no talk, you not take no abuse, you not take nothing from nobody. How did you manage after you decide you're going to step away from this? How it actually happened?
Okay, so the last straw, because I took him back more than one time.
After you say you're done?
After I say I'm done. And I took him back because it was for financial reasons. I had to move away from my location. I had to move from where I was living at the time. And I was about an hour away from the children's school, from my work, and it was very difficult. And so I decided that I'm going to move back, and, you know, we can, you know, work together financially to, you know, keep the bills, and I'm not having to work so hard. But I took him back with a plan. anytime I go along a road, I always have a plan. And so I took him back with a plan, knowing that I'm going to finish school, I'm going to start to build my business, and I'm going to start to invest in myself physically. So now, even though he was in the home, physically, my mind mentally was not there. I was building myself. And so, I
This
think
is
it
the
was
last straw.
this was the last straw. And I think we were trying to make it work at one point, because I was like, okay, the children are getting a little older, you might try. So, but it just felt like I was pulling a heavy load, and I didn't want that. That's not what I wanted for myself. I'm a number 4. My numerology is a number 4. And what that represents in the numerology is strength, stability, structure. It's like sitting on a chair with 4 legs, a table with 4 legs. That is just me naturally. I try to come in and put things in order. And if my life is not in order, I cannot function. I will not function in dysfunction, right? And so I realized that this person, even though I was changing and on my journey spiritually, he was still in a same, he was still stuck in this one way of thinking, blaming the world for his problems. It's everybody do this and nobody not this. And, so I just kept on my journey, my spiritual journey. I kept on going, and I realized I started my business, and I noticed that he was not putting his hand in the business. He wasn't helping physically. He never did it financially. And all of the people that was there were the people that was with me previously. And I started looking at it and I said, you know what, Melody, you sure you want to go down this road again? You sure? And I said, you know what? No, not go down this road again. I would rather be happy being alone with my children than to be in an unhappy relationship, because I realized I am the one that's keeping this whole thing together anyways, while I'm going through this thing. So why not just do it by yourself and you feel happy, everybody happy, your children happy? You see, and so that's the decision I made. So when he realized on an energetic level that I was getting ready to leave, because I was living my life, I was building my business, building my networks. I kept a birthday party and didn't bring him. So he knew it was over. He was like, what? So anyways, he obviously didn't want to leave. I told him you leave and I stay. Me start pack up things. I said, me I gonna leave. Me not see my leave. So I say, all right, cool. So I went into my spirituality, because them not left my side. My ancestors not left me, and my spirit guys not leave me. And I said, okay. And I work with fire and water, because my north node is water. Your north node represents who you should be in this lifetime. The part of you that struggles, and that's the sign that's a part of you that has to kind of go through certain things in life so that you can get to this point. And as a Scorpion,
your north what?
My north node, which is a part of the birth chart. My north node is a Scorpion. My ex-husband is a Scorpion. So I realized that he came in my life to teach me these lessons. So I had to go through this with him specifically, because his north node is a Sagittarius. So I was supposed to teach him the lessons that he never learned. Right? And so being an so I
you were talking
with,
about
so you use how I got him out. So I work with fire
the last
and I
straw.
work with water. Yes, the last straw. And I said, okay, it was coming up to the end of the year, because my birthday is in December. So I was like, you know what? You grew up, say, you clean up and you dash your things, and you not carry the same energy in the next year. So I'm going to say, listen, my spirit guidance and Melody, you can't carry this and when you're within the next year, because the same way you end it, the same way you're going to begin it. And once my guides them tell me certain things, me have to move. Me not ask questions, I just move. Right? And I used to work close to the ocean. So every morning when I come off of work, me used to go stand up by the water and just chant, just talk in the water. Some people say pray, me chant. And it was a full moon that day. I remember specifically. And I went into the full moon. The full moon energy, you use it to to remove things, to cleanse things, cleanse it. You want to cleanse your mind of certain negative thoughts, you use the moon energy. And I went into the moon energy and I sat by the water side and I spoke to my ancestors. And I said, I'm gonna have to take this man out of my house. Me no want no bloodshed, me no want no tears, and me want peace and harmony, but me want this man to come out. And so said, so it was it done. I went to a meeting the following weekend, and during that meeting, it started to escalate now. After the party, the argument, the escalation, and the true word, and all of these things in the house, and it was feeling uncomfortable. And but I would ignore it. I put on my headphone, clean my house, and try to ignore it. But we're in the same space, so it's not easy to ignore that stuff, And so I went to the meeting. I went to a meeting, and I took the children with me to this meeting, and he didn't know where they were. He came home and they wasn't there. And so he called my daughter's tablet to find out where she was. And when she told him, Dad, we're at such and such house, so he said, I'm coming to get you, right? Wow. And so I was in the back room because I was, in the meeting. And so I got a knock saying, come and talk to Mariah because her daddy said he's coming to pick her up. So I said, Mariah, what's going on? She said, Daddy's coming to pick us up. And where we were, it's very complicated. You have to kind of go down the stairs and do all kind of things. So I'm saying, what is he doing? So anyways, I got on the phone and I said to him, Miss Arere, the children are with me and they're fine. And he never liked the sound of my voice. He never liked all my say it. And so he left a very harsh message. He coming like a volcano, he erupt. And all I hear in the message was, girl, this, that, bitch, this, that, and done you. Me have a done you. And that's all I need to hear. And when I heard this man stutter, all 11 years I married to this man, I never hear this man stutter. And for me, a little girl, me and them say, man, we stutter now. And now my thing. So me never go back in that house if I go find out what him a go stutter about or what him a done girl big back board. And so in that moment I became very fearful. No, because I know what these things look like. I see them thing up on TV every day. Right? So I said to myself, okay, it look like this thing, and no. And so what I did was I made a phone call to the police department. And when they came, they might talk patois, so them can't understand what I say. Right? And so that's when me kind of get feared and they not do anything. So them said the best thing you can do is go to the courthouse and file a restraining order. Right? So I'm still at my girlfriend's house and I'm supposed to go back home, but not under these circumstances. And so I waited the following day, went to the courthouse, fill out the paperwork. My son now, who I had to interpret what he was saying in patois in our English, so the people in the courthouse can read it in our English for know what he must say. And when he did he wrote down the paperwork now, and I went to go see the judge. When I walked into the courthouse, it was a female judge. I'm gonna say, thank God, because the two police will come at two policemen, right? And when I see the female judge, I said, Jack, give thanks. And so I said to her, explain to her what took place. And she said, so what did he say that was violent or, a threat? That's what she said. What did he say that was threatening to you? And I said, they couldn't explain it in a patois for English. So you know what I said? So I said, matter of fact, I had the recording. And when I played the recording, all she hear are two words, bitch. And she said, okay, granted. And that's how I got him out of the house. Wow. The ancestors, them hear you. And them work it out. And at that time, it was only me paying the rent. So I didn't know how the rent was going to pay. I didn't know how I was going to help myself. But when them talk, I listen. And once I start to follow this journey, when I realized what I did, and I saw that I was making it, my business, my peer, me I save my money, me I do things with the children. I said, wow, you think all this time all I have to do is get rid of this person out of my life? And I said, wow, and from that moment on, anything them tell me to do, me do it. And that's
So
been
you
my
have to
journey.
be obedient. You have to be obedient to the
You
guys
have to
when
be
they talk to you.
obedient. You have to trust them. They know you more than you know yourself. They sent you here. Them
And
send
they
you
know
here.
what is ahead of you. They know what is ahead too.
Yes.
Them see what you can't see. Them hear what you don't hear. They know what you don't know.
Listen, when I was a child, I was like 14 years old, coming the road. I never liked school. And I was hanging out with some male friends, 2 boys. One of them was I was good friends with, but he had another friend. And so, kids are skip and yes, we miss school and end up at one of my friend's home. His mom wasn't home, and we end up at his friend's home. And it was 2 male boys, and I was sitting in the living room, and I've always been intuitive. Me see things clear, me see things before it happened. And I was sitting in the living room, and the 2 of them, one of the boys went into the room, and the other one came out and said, come here. And him called him friend in the other room. So 2 of them in the room now, and me sit up on the couch. Right? I'm just hear the voice say, so what you gonna do? Them never include you in the conversation where you are gonna do. That's all I heard. And I just pick up my school bag and put it over my bag and go to the door. And a week later, one of them was found dead. I saw me know say, the spirit guide them a miss.
Wow. Always protecting you, Melody.
Always. As long as we're on our truth, as long as we live in our truth, as long as we know our purpose in this lifetime, because we all come here with a purpose. Always have a passion. I always said, many are called and few are chosen. But once you are doing what you are supposed to do in this lifetime, you will be protected. I guarantee it.
So you have gotten this stumbling block. I'm putting it as a stumbling block. I don't know if I'm correct, but you have gotten this this person out of your life that was probably stopping growth, whichever way, whether it is spiritual growth or financial growth or whatever. You have gotten this person. You have removed this thing from your life, right?
Not completely. Because
not completely
because even in energetically he's here. Sometimes I can feel him. Sometimes in my sleep I can't feel him in my sleep. There was one time this energy
about that.
Okay, so and these things happen at different time, different time of the phase of the moon, right? Because he's very powerful. I always told him that. I said, you are a very powerful being, only if you know yourself and are living on the right truth. But anything this man speak, it happen. Anything he speak, but in I'm truth, right? So energetically. So one day I was sleeping, and things come to me all the time. I can feel energy and dark energy, standing over me, and at times. But this specific energy right here, so it felt like the person was standing over me, and more said the word, him did a masturbate on me, right? But it was a low energy. It wasn't a tall being. It was a low energy. And when I get these things, my spirit guides tell me what it is or who it is. If I don't know, they will tell me, right? They tell me in vision or they tell me in audio. And so I knew it was him. And a couple of months ago, he was kind of weaning him way back, being nice and, buy food and, but I already know the energy. I see it, I know it, right? This nice energy. And then when he not get him, him go back in himself. I know the vampire, I know them, I see them. So, I'm observing it now, and I'm trying to keep it casual too, because I want this to work for the children. I don't want to cause no chaos in my children's life. I want my children we're not have to get together, but I want my children to just live, you know what I mean, a normal life.
Yeah.
So anyways, I said to him, come I have to know. I said, did you comment, like, are you thinking about me in a sexual way? I felt like you came into my dream, and he said, all the time. And I said, okay, thank you, confirmation. So it was him, energetically, So it's a constant battle of cleansing and clearing my energy and my sage and my salt bath and, You know, it's a constant thing, but it makes you stronger in this thing because he's
Yeah.
just one minute dragon that you're gonna have to battle. When you're on the battlefield, it just makes you stronger. This is not for the weak,
Mhm.
you know,
Mhm.
because the enemy
I
when
hear you
it's coming
talk
against
about
us is not.
Melody. Me hear you talk about your saging and your salt bath and them something there. Now you tell me now. What do you really do? What you do? It's a constant battle for you. But
It's a constant.
how do you keep this up? What do you physically do?
So like today, when I got the message that I was gonna be on the show, the
Mhm.
first thing came to me was white. And I haven't worn white in a long time. And so
Mhm.
the confirmation came on my way from work. I'm seeing pure white car, white truck, man in a white car, white shirt, just a white. I'm gonna say, okay, confirmation, boom, white, right?
Mhm.
And so because I know that I am speaking on a topic that certain energies don't want me to speak about,
Mhm.
they can interfere with my frequency, right?
Mhm.
And so I started feeling nervous. Me feel like they want to vomit. Me feel
Mhm.
all kind of energy. So I knew at that time that I have to get a sage bath. You know what I'm saying? We're
Mhm.
doing this thing over the internet. We already know all these things there. You know, certain eyes are
Mhm.
looking. But like I said, we are the masters of this thing. So I sage myself. I gave myself a bath. And a lot of time when I give myself a bath, it just depends on what it is that I'm trying to do. So lavender is my um, my herb, one of my herbs. We all have different herbs for different reasons. Lavender is my herb. It
Well,
keeps me balanced. Mm?
all right, hold on. So you use lavender, and you would
Mhm.
have had a reason why you use lavender. I'm gonna ask you why lavender for you. And for example, another person who may want to go on this journey, do they find out their own herb? Can you guide them into saying, you with this kind of energy, maybe you should have used so and so
Yes.
and so and so.
Yes. So
Mhm.
lavender is calming for me. And I was using lavender before I even knew that lavender was my herb. Because
Mhm.
this journey is a constant learning. I'm a student in this, right? I'm not a master, I'm a student. And what
Mhm.
I have learned so far is that lavender helps to keep me balanced. I use the oils, I use the plants, I love the smell of it. Sometimes you can make a tea with lavender.
Mhm.
And it keeps me calm, which is what I need
Mhm.
as a fire sign, right? To
Mhm.
kind of keep
Mhm.
my energy kind of grounded and just kind
Mhm.
of zen, you know. Um,
Mhm.
I use salt. I use sea salt. Sea salt is a good cleanser. It balances the aura around your the energy around your aura. It's
Mhm.
a neutralizer. So it neutralizes the energy, you know. Um, I also use some oils. I use olive oil especially. And I put the lavender in the olive oil. I'll put rose petals in it to kind of
Mhm.
soothe me, just to kind of keep me calm. And I would put
Mhm.
that in the water, and then I would just sit in it. And
Wow.
sometimes I use sage, you know, sometimes I will use a
Mhm.
sage bundle. Sage bundles are plants, they've come from the
Mhm.
earth. You know, you can
Mhm.
use sage, you can use bay leaf, you can use cinnamon stick. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Earth is the earth,
Mhm.
the healing of the nation. Everything we have is here. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? But I forgot
Yeah.
make nothing, nobody not to make nothing, everything you look going at your garden and that's it. The earth. We are
Mhm.
the
Mhm.
earth,
Mhm. Mhm.
right? So I
Yes.
burn some of these things to help calm my energy down, um, to kind of get me grounded. And so
Mhm.
that's what I had to do today. And with the sage now, what I do with the sage, I kind of just cleanse my energy and just, kind of
Mhm.
cleanse the space that I'm in. And
Mhm.
so that's how I would use the sage as well.
Because as you talk about energy in a melody, we sometimes, when I say we, I'm just generalizing now. Some don't understand, but you go around some people and you feel sometimes you feel a little heaviness, And you say, boy, the person that you anytime you go around the person, you just feel one different kind of vibe. You go around another person and the place just light and lovely and you know want to leave
Right.
around the company of that particular person.
Right.
But we don't know, people don't know how to name it, they don't know what to call it because they don't know what it is. You know?
Right.
Another thing too, sometimes some people say, boy, that person is salt, you know? Because anytime they're around, boy, accident always happen or this always happen. It's the person's energy. It is the energy that is traveling with them. So we know
Yes.
these things, but we don't know how to deal with it.
Right.
We don't know how
Right.
to relieve ourselves of some of the heavy burden we are carry. We don't know
Yeah.
how to relieve ourselves of some of the people and they're around where we need to get rid of. You know, and just listening to you now, I'm understanding even clearer that it is energy, you know, in everything is energy. You go to work, the energy there. You go to school, you go anywhere, you go to work, church, it is there. It is for
Yes.
you now to know how to keep yourself and to balance yourself as you go through this life. So I'm
Yes.
saying to you now, for an earth sign, may I talk about myself now, right?
Uh-huh.
As we say, I am earth now.
Mm-hmm.
You use lavender. Is there anything in particular? So for an earth sign, sister like you know, Bev Moonchild, this is what you need to do. This are the herb will work well with your earth sign.
Oh gosh. All right. Let me think about this. So for Earth, I might be off, but like I said, I study my stuff. My girlfriend is an Earth sign. She uses, I want to say sage. She uses sage. I want to say thyme. But this is what I can tell you, Bev, is that when you start to study yourself, these things just come natural to you. You get the message. You see what I'm saying? Everything that you want, that question that you just asked me is already inside of you, but you have to seek it in there, right? So for my advice to those who are on a spiritual journey is to don't just come here, listen to me talk and then walk away. Take notes. That's one step. Being here is one step. Take notes is 2 steps. Because this is what I've done on my journey. You take notes and then you do something with the notes. You go in a Google and you type it in. You type in astrology. You type in astrology anatomy. And what astrology anatomy is, each zodiac sign rules different parts of the body, right? For instance, you have the Gemini. The Gemini rules the brain, the mind, the way the body thinks, and it controls other parts of the body. The Gemini will have their own herb, right? So this is what I can say is start with your numerology, your life path number. Start with your birth chart. Your birth chart tells you what your sun sign is. Your sun is what everybody knows you as, right? Your moon is your emotion, the way how you balance emotion. My moon sign is Capricorn, so I'm pretty balanced when it comes to my emotions. Nothing to kind of trigger me that easy, you know. You want to know your rising. You want to know all of these things. You're not going to know them all at once, you know, and the messages are not going to come all at once. But once you seek it, it's going to find you. But you have to seek what's seeking you, what's finding you, what's looking for you. You have to seek it first. You know, it's there. But if you don't reach your arm out to it, you're not going to connect to it.
Yes,
And
you
that
have
is
to
what
reach
the
for it.
research is. Yes.
You have to reach for it.
Yes.
And what you're searching for is searching for you too.
Exactly.
So once you stretch your hands forward, once you open up.
Yes.
Once you open up, it is there to receive you.
Yes. Because there's a higher and a lower self. There's an inner and an outer self, right? An inner and an outer body. This is just a physical body, but there's a spiritual body. There's an emotional body, right? And these things are, when we're out of sync with ourselves, we get sick, we have a headache, we are attracting the wrong people because our physical body is not aligning with our spiritual body and our emotional body is not aligning. So once
Mhm.
we become aligned with these things now, we will
Mhm,
no
mhm.
longer attract certain people in
Mhm,
our
mhm.
life. They don't even see us. You see what I'm
Because
saying?
people will say likeness attract, right? And opposite attract. People have different things to say. But who you are is what you're going to attract to yourself.
Exactly. Exactly.
Who you are. So that is why I agree with you when you say work on self. You see, when you improve yourself, when you work on yourself, when you understand yourself, when you reach to your inner self, and it's not your outer self, it's your inside.
Right.
When you go from inner engineering, as Imara has a book, Inner Engineering, written by Sadhguru. That's another book. Is I would encourage people to get and to read Inner Engineering. When you understand yourself, once you build yourself, that person for you is already there waiting for you.
They're
And
building
so,
themselves too. You're on the
y-
same journey.
yeah, on the same journey, building to attract each other.
Right.
So you will no longer be attracting the kind of energy that is going to destroy you or you are going to destroy. The
Right.
balance will start to take place. I agree with you, Melody. I want to talk to you about numbers. We're going to take a break and come back and go into the numbers. The time is running. It is 7:19. So when
Okay.
we come back, I'm gonna see what time we come back and we talk about numbers. Because you had put out some numbers and we want to see the significance. We want to hear the importance of numbers. Melody
Okay.
and Ra is my guest. We'll soon come back. I'm gonna ask you about the name too, Melody and Ra, when we get
Okay.
back. Cultural
All
Mix.
right.
Bev Moonchild, your host. We'll soon come back.
The 717.
Praise to the Most High, y'all. One love, one peace, yeah.
Wow.
I just love it on me, I can't tear it. This is the real thing, you know the real thing. Just love it on me, I can't tear it apart. This is the real thing, you know the real thing. Love is a fountain, keeps on flowing. Sound like a mountain and it keeps on growing. 2 plus me and the love is showing. Push up your one. I just love it. I mean, I can't hear about this. I just love it. Can't hear it about this. I the real thing. You know the real thing. I know you're not perfect, but I know you are worth it. You've been there for me, so I know you deserve this. May I got knock you out, cause me want you to hear this. Tell the whole world I appreciate this. All this time where they blow you could I leave you to steer this. Anchor to the rock, no hurricane could shake this. You are number one and you're there for me earless. They would have never diss you and you know this. Hey, I just love it on me heart. Can't tear it apart, this got the real thing. You know the real thing. They say I love it on me heart. Can't tear it apart, this got the real thing. You know the real thing. I just be lying on me heart, can't tear him apart. This is the real thing. You know the real thing. I just got it on me heart, can't tear him apart. This is the real thing. You know the real thing. Someone who can't come to set the example. From the table that hit me not trample. At the straight shooter, so you know me no rumble. Straight from the heart, me wear the love like a mantle. Hold your love like I am, make it go like a jungle. This I no half scotch, you got no food where you stumble. Taste a little, you no want no more. Anywhere you go, if I saw, taste and buy no so. Leave it as you go. I just love it on me heart, can't tear it apart. This is the real thing. You know the real thing. I just love it on me heart, can't tear it apart. This is the real thing. You know the real thing. So we do it, so we do it. Yeah.
Welcome back to Cultural Mix. I'm your host, Bev Moonchild. We are in the studio of Fit FM 96.7, your life, your music. We are talking to Melody and Ra. She's talking to us about her experience, and she hopes that her experience, as she shares it with us, will empower others, will teach others, will help others on their journey. Welcome back, Melody. Are you hearing me, Melody?
Hearing you.
Yes, Melody and Ra. Talk to me about the name.
So, I always say our name chooses us. And I found that out after. The name Melody, of course, means music. And my dad always enjoyed music. He wanted my mom to play classical music while she was pregnant with him, while she was pregnant with me. And so my children all love music. And so it's fitting that my name would be Melody. The name Ra, I wanted to change my government name. I don't want the slave master name from long time. I don't want it no more. No, this one because when you do on this journey, what you have to shed everything, name everything you have to shed. So the word Ra means light, sun. And as a Sagittarius, it was fitting. But I really wanted an African name. And so I didn't want to just name myself just any African name. Everything I do, like I said, I think it through, and it has to have some type of meaning. And so the name Mombasi found me really. And I wanted it to be an M name. The letter M is a symbol. Everything is a symbol. Everything has some type of meaning, and so the letter M is it's like a mountain. As you can see, it's shaped like two mountains. So it signifies strength. So I wanted to keep the M. And so I started searching, and I think I looked up, I forgot what I Googled and something. Oh, I think I was looking at my ancestral heritage. And I looked up the names of persons in like a Zulu name, what a Zulu warrior would be, because I really consider myself, I think I was a warrior in a past life, because every time I get red, Nanny come to me. And Harriet Tubman, these women come to me, and I see myself in them and see how they could do what they do, that what they have done, and see myself that I could have possibly done something like that. So I see myself as a warrior, and I wanted to be named after a warrior. I wanted a name of a warrior. And so I looked at a long list of names, and Mombasi stuck out to me because one, the M, and it just flew off my tongue. It just kind of flew. And when I read what it meant, I said, oh my God, this name find me. So here it is. I'm going to read it for you. So Mombasi, it's pronounced Mbassi. And the name Mombasi's numerology is the number 9. And why that was significant is because I was born on the 6th. And if you remember, we said that the 6 and the 9 is the same thing. It's just yin and yang. It's just the opposite of the coin. So I said, okay, Mombasi numerology is the number 9. Okay. And I read on more. And I said, Mombasi's name is originally numerology, and is similar to the name Mombasi. And then it said something about being a warrior and being a person. It says here, okay, so hold on, I'll tell you a second. So it says, you're a humanitarian. You are attracted to a cause or a movement which purpose is to make a better world. And I thought it was just so fittingly describing me, and it basically chose me. And that's how I end up with the name. I added Mombasi to the name Ra.
Okay. So you found the name, and the name found you. It was there waiting for you to access it.
Exactly.
It was there waiting on you.
Yes, exactly.
It's now 7:27 according to my time. 7:27, right? And I know you are into numbers, and you say numbers don't lie. Talk to me about numbers.
So
the importance and significance.
So numbers, some people will argue that the number 1 is not the first number. But for simple terms, let's say the number one is the original number, the first
Mm-hmm.
number, and every other number follows the number one. So the number one will be considered the leader of all numbers. And there's only
Mm-hmm.
9 numbers. Everything else is repeated, right?
Okay.
So you have 1
Okay.
through 9.
Mm-hmm.
And as we know, numbers did not start off as what it looks like. No, it started off. They call it Roman numbers, but the hieroglyphics, that's where it came from. It didn't come from the Romans. It came from the hieroglyphics. We use lines. But anyway, so I have here number 1 represents independence, new
Mm-hmm.
beginning, pioneering, and individuality. And the number 2, so if you say, for instance, you see number 1, you're seeing 1 or you're seeing 1 multiple times. It just means that you're on a new path. There's a new beginning coming your way to, pay attention, keep your eyes open. That's what the number 1 represents. It represents different things to different people for whatever reason in that moment. But the number 1 represents the beginning of something new.
Okay.
So number 2 now is balance, partnerships, contracts, right? And when I think of number 2, balance, for you to sit on a seesaw, you need somebody else on the other end, right?
Yes.
So that's what
To
the number
balance
2
it up.
comes in. Right. So if somebody's seen number 2, it can either mean that you need to balance yourself, or you kind of, or you are
Off
balanced.
balance. Yes.
Yes. And how you know that it's speaking to you is watch what you're thinking in that moment when that message came to you, or what you were saying or thinking when that message came to you. And that's how you're going to know if that message is for you. Sometimes the message is for somebody else that you're about to come in contact with, and they need to hear that message, that they need to be balanced. You know what I mean? Number 3 is a spiritual number. The 6, the 9, and the 3 are spiritual, very spiritual number. The 3 is the same number if you look at it. But anyways, so number 3, it represents creativity, joy, communication, self-expression, and group. So if you see the number 3, maybe your spirit guides are trying to tell you that you need to be more expressive, you need to be more inclusive, you need to be, more creative, things like that. The number 4 I touched on before. The 4 represents stability, structure, loyalty, foundation, problem solving. And that's what the number 4 represents. And when you see it multiple times, meaning, okay, it's intense. Number 5 represents adventure, change, innovation. When you see that number 5, it's telling you that, listen, something is going to happen, like some big change is coming, whether it's for the good or, not so good, but something is going to happen. Some change is coming. So pay attention. That's what the number 5 represents. The number 6, harmony, communication, love, healing. Number 6 represents service. That goes with the 6 and the 9. The 6 and the 9 is the same exact thing. You just flip it upside down. Same number.
6 and the 9.
6 and the 9 is the same thing. Yin and yang. See the behind it there, the 9 and the 6, same thing. Number 7 represents spirituality.
Hold a while. Hold as you talk about number 7. So
Okay.
Christine Reynolds, somebody on the live here with us.
Yeah.
She's saying, I would love to hear her opinion on my number. I am a 7th child, born on the 7th month, with 7 children and 7 grandchildren. So Christine, this number 7 is yours. Go ahead, Melody, and talk to Christine about her number 7.
Wow, that is beautiful. So I will interpret this. So she's divinely a spiritual person. She's very spiritual. She's guided to a army of spiritual people, energy behind her. Yes. So here it says spirituality is deals with the intellect, right? Personal growth. With just a little snippets there, 7 children. Wow, that's a strong person. Yeah, because spirit now makes some of people come out of you if you don't have a purpose in your life. So find out what this purpose is. Find out what this purpose is. But you are divinely guided. You're being guided. I don't know what to say, but just do your study. That number is powerful. You're spiritually guided.
Melody, Christine does her saging every morning.
Nice.
And she comes on Facebook with it, and you will see her cut and clear. She does her saging every single day.
Nice.
And I'm so impressed with how consistent she is. Because sometimes you may do something and you fall off, and you come back again and you do it again. I have seen her consistently doing her saging. That if you ever hear about Capo Reynolds in Jamaica, when you come off of the program, go and research who Capo Reynolds from Jamaica, who that man was. Yes, Kapo. When you come off of the program, go and research and find out who Capo is. One of the most famous. I will tell you. Go and research for yourself. Capo's daughter, and no wonder you're telling her she's spiritual and she has that kind of energy around her. This is just something to solidify what Christine already knows. Thank you for joining, Christine.
Wow.
My sister Kalula L, who has done a name change, she said name change is a must. Because she understands, because she too has changed her name. Because maybe the name where you grew up with and the name where your mother give you, after you decide to change your you no longer identify with that personality.
Right.
And so you have to do a name change, Yes, my sister
if
Kay.
the name wasn't powerful, if the name wasn't powerful, the slave master wouldn't put it away. Wouldn't brand it away.
You see that? Kay is asking you, what about 11 and 24? But you are just spoken about 7, so we're going to go on to 8, and then we answer her question about 11 and 24.
So the number 8, that is the manifester. That is the money number, right?
Number 8.
That is the number 8. That when you see that number there, you know some money will come. Yeah. Yeah. Are you need for do something to make the money come. Right?
Number 8.
Whether you get a job or you set up yourself, whatever. But that is the manifestation number. When you do your manifestation, that is the spirit guide telling you say it soon come. It does the right, that's where it come. The right, that's where the number is coming from. Yes. Your goals, your abundance, your business endeavors. That's what the number 8 represents.
Okay.
And on the number 9 now, that's wisdom, completion, service of humanity. The number 9. Right. That's the ending. It means that whatever journey you're on now, you don't have to go through it no more. Done. Whatever is happening in your life right now, it no longer going to happen. Yeah. That's what the number 9 represents.
Okay. And then because you said numbers are always repeating themselves, it's just one set of numbers. When we say 10 would be what? 1 again?
10 would be the 1. 10 would be the 1 again, multiply.
Okay. Twice. Okay. And 11 would be the 2.
Yes. The 11 is the 1.
Oh, 11 is the 1.
11 is the 1 multiplied 2 times.
Okay,
And
so
when
we
you see
come
the
down to 2.
1111, that means say it a come, it
Mm-hmm.
a come, it a come, it a come, it a come. Change, change,
Mm-hmm.
change, change. Beginning,
Mm-hmm.
beginning, beginning, beginning. It just magnifies.
Okay, okay. So for
Yeah.
example, 24 now, 24 would be what?
So the 24 would be 6. 6 and 6.
Okay,
Because so
4
all right,
and
so
2,
what the
6.
numerology now? Let me touch upon the numerology. So the numerology, to learn your
Numbers.
life path number is that you add up your date of birth, your complete date of birth, the day, the month, and the year until you end up with one single number.
The
Only some
day,
people gonna end the day, the month,
the
and the
month,
year.
and the
And the
year. So for
year.
example, now, somebody who born on the 23rd, for example, I'm born on the 23rd.
Yeah.
The month you would say is the 4th month.
Right. So give me your numbers now. 20 what?
So 23rd, April 23rd. So that is the 23rd and the 4th.
23rd. What's the rest of the number? 19 what?
4th, 1969.
1969. You see you? You see that 6 and a 9 there? All right. So 42311969.
So check
All
up
right.
on the people. So we go 9 and 6 how much? 15,
69.
15 and 5, 20 and 4, 24,
34.
25, 25, 29, 29, 30, 33, 33 and 2. That, eh?
So, all right. So 34.
A 34 you get?
Yes.
You're sure it's a 34 you get?
What you get?
Me and a maths brain from primary school, you know.
That's okay. The 4, the 2, the 3, right? April 23rd.
Uh-huh. So 3 and 2 are 5. Mm-hmm.
Go on. I'm ready for you.
19, 20, 25, 25, 30. 34.
34. And then you add those two numbers now, and what you get?
You get 7.
Okay, and what you just tell me about the lady with the 77? Yes, sister, we're connected.
Yes, Christine.
Look behind you. See I rub your neck? You see I rub your head? Look behind you. 6 and the 9 and the 7 behind you. You are doing
96.7.
Okay.
96.7.
That is what you're supposed to be doing in this lifetime.
96.7.
Okay. The numbers not tell no lie. You know what I learned last night? To tell us that this journey not done. This journey, this hidden knowledge is so deep. Them have we deep in our city where we not even know. But trust me, so once you start unravel this whole thing, man, it's come like you're gonna be a rebirth. You're gonna born again. You're gonna wonder, say, man, we never know them something so long. You know what I discover? And I don't even know how I find it. That's why I say sometimes they just tell me things, come fast for a long time. Fast. You add up the date of somebody when them born, and the date they died, and you get one number. And then and when you subtract the year, you subtract the year. I mean, I have a calculator, I'm gonna forget my notes, but I think you subtract the year they were born from the year they died, and you get the same number come up.
The year they were born minus that from the year they die.
Yes.
And you get the same number.
And then when you add up
the same number as what?
All right. So say for instance, I don't have my notes in front of me. But say for instance, somebody died January 1st, 2002. You add up all of those numbers, you're going to get one number. Right? That's the day they were born. And then the day they died, you add up those numbers and you get the same exact number as the day they were born.
True?
Yes, I find it out last night. I couldn't believe it.
So that would be your number. That would be your life path number.
I don't know whether the number. Well, I don't know. Maybe because I don't know it. So when I searched it, I didn't know what the life path number it could be. But I just know that those number came. So that means that this person come here and died on the day they were supposed to die. That shows you that everything is happening in divine timing. There's nothing new and nothing cheating. There's no mistakes in life. When
you know when you talk about that, Kalula is saying her 8 is my life path number. That's somebody else who is responding here on the chat. 8 is my life path number, and you spoke about 8 and what 8 represent, right? And I'm
Yes.
sure she should be able to say, you know, if this is so, you have to do something to attract the money. You know, so the money are coming. You have to guess and spell when the 8 is there. You know, it's just you, and anything you put your hand to, the money going to come
Yes.
because of this.
Yes.
But I'm going to
It's
talk
gonna
to you
come
now
easier to you than it would come to somebody else. But a life path number is a different number. Yes.
with a different number. Yes. So everybody journey different. So when you see
Yes.
people doing what them do, just leave them.
Leave
Just
them.
know people, make them do what them do.
Yes.
Because everybody's
we're all
path.
on our own journey.
Yes. Yeah.
Our
Yeah.
life
Yeah.
is not a book, because when
Yeah.
we're born, the birth chart is totally different than anybody else's birth chart on this planet.
Mm-hmm.
So
So
everybody
just leave
come to
people,
one
make them do what them do.
stop.
Yes.
Yes.
When you talk about the day you die now and the day you were born, I was gonna say to you that sometimes you say, boy, untimely death. And Imara, I can say he has always said to me, say, Bev, there is not name untimely death. You said the day when the
None.
person dead, or the day that them did for dead.
Yes.
Regardless of how the person died, regardless
Yes.
of the circumstances, if it is an accident or somebody
Yes.
shoot them or whatever the circumstance, because we get emotional about the circumstances of the death.
Because we're stuck to the flesh.
Yes,
We're not in tune with the spirit.
exactly.
And that's why.
He has always said to me, there is one called untimely death. Anytime
Right.
the person dead at the time that they need to dead, at the day that they need to dead. And talking to
Right.
you now, I am understanding, and I'm know that, you know, this life is we have to discover ourselves. But Melody,
Yes.
I can tell you that if we don't go out on this journey with a consciousness, assertive for self, because we lost, you know. I think
Yes,
the
yeah.
minute we step into institutions, we have lost ourselves.
Yes.
And we send our children to school and we don't follow up with them. We don't continue to guide them. And the minute they step into an institution, they have lost themselves. I want people to
Yes.
understand, because this way I direct with you and this way I tell you, it is not taught at. And that is why I
No.
have a issue with 30 and 40 picnic in one class and learn the same subject, and they must take the same exam, and they must do this and they must do that, because everybody
They
life
want-
path
they
is
want
different.
sheeps. They're grooming sheep. They're grooming blind sheep. That's what they're grooming. People that follow rules and don't and just do what I say to do, and that's what they want to do. Right? So this is how I figure out life, because I spend so much time in nature. I look at how nature functions, and I look at the trees. I'm looking at 3 different species of trees, right? Them have different leaves, them have different color, but they're all balanced in harmony. They all of them are reach up to the sun, and none of them are push them one another to get the sun. They two of them, everything just go up to the sun. Sometimes I see the limb give way for the other 3 limbs to go towards.
Hold on, Melody. Melody, remember your thoughts right there. Somebody just said something to me. Listen, Tina, hi Tina. Tina has joined us, Tina Miller. Here, Tina now. I just did the numbers for my mother, who passed 16 years ago. And I got the same number as her birth date. Melody, you know see what going on, sir?
Yes.
Tina, thank you. Thank you for this. Thank you for this. It is just solidifying, really, that we are not regular beings.
No.
We are not normal people. We are not normal. We are not normal creation.
And the masters, them know it. Because you see the day we wake up, you see the day we realize who we are, everything done.
Yes.
It's done. This is the book I want everybody to look at. I study this book right now. Okay? And this book right here, sir, you can put your date of birth in it. You can know what your life is gonna be like this year. You add up your all right, let's do it.
Tell me what the book name.
This book is called Numbers and You by Lloyd Stayhorn. Strayhorn. Strayhorn.
S-T-A?
S-T-R-A-Y.
Strayhorn.
Strayhorn. Lloyd.
Numbers.
Strayhorn. Numbers
and You.
I got it on Amazon. I'm in love that book. So till what I did was I let all my children, I plug in all of their numbers, and every single one of them I live the same. Where the book said, I eat a go on right now.
Here's somebody else now. Tina is saying, wow, I think she's just amazed also by what you did just now with the numbers, the birth numbers and the death number.
Yeah.
Kay, my friend in Portland, my sister in Portland, you hear what she said? I also did it for my brother and sister and got their date of birth also.
There you go.
You hear?
Me have goosebumps.
Melanie, you think a joke thing?
This is what I know.
When you say the numbers don't lie.
No. They don't want us to know this thing.
Because once you're awakened, no sleep. Julia, find that song there. Awaken, no sleep in my eyes, focus. Listen, Melody, once we are awakened, it done. The Dolly House mash up.
Done. And they know it.
And that is why there is an not intention, there is a concerted effort. That is why there is a deliberate effort on the part of these people to keep us dumb forever. And they will dumb us down with entertainment. They will dumb us down with sports. They will dumb us down with everything else, because once you understand yourself, you're like a bird set free.
Yep.
I'm really happy that I'm talking to you this evening. This is not a book up.
No.
You were intended to be here. And now is home. Now is why I understand we had that trouble earlier on. Like it never want to happen.
No.
But they can't stop the energy.
Can't stop it.
They can't stop the energy. They can't stop the energy. They can't stop the energy.
No.
Tina is saying, I'm covered in goosebumps. Tina, you think are you alone?
Me too.
I am in the studio, have AC, and trust me, me just feel warm, like something warm just run through my system.
Yeah.
Because when you see the light, because the light is open up for a number of persons, understanding that we are not here just by buck up.
No.
We were placed here for a reason.
We're divinely guided.
For a purpose.
Yes.
We were divinely placed here.
Yes.
No one of them call we unplanned or not, whatever, you're unplanned.
Right.
Unplanned pregnancy, an unplanned child, and unwanted.
I will always late. No, we're not always upon time. And we are the time. We time. And them create time for keep control. So we can lock with movement. But the we's time. When we arrive, that is the right time.
When we arrive is the right time.
Yes.
There is nothing called untimely death. Or I never know it to happen. Anytime it happened, at that time they did to happen.
Yes.
And it brings me back to something, somebody traveling to Africa. I'm not sure which country they would have traveled into, but the person came back to me and was saying to me, say, Bev, one of the things though, like for example, you say a meeting I go start 5 o'clock. The meeting will start until 6, 7 o'clock, according to clock time. But the people will say, this is the time for the meeting to really start.
Yeah.
You understand what I mean? So when I hear, I'm just putting back the pieces together. I'm saying, wow, I saw it go for true. So the clock time is really to control us.
Yes.
When you must go eat lunch, when you must go to bathroom, when you must get up, when you must. So the clock time is really a control mechanism. And once we let ourselves out of that kind of pen, so we're on our way to freedom, rest. Love this conversation, Kalula says. Loving this conversation. Thanks, Melody and Bev. Awesome to hear awakened souls. Because everybody gonna come together. The time is just right, Kalula, and you know that too. The time is just right. Nothing happens before the time. And that is what we aim to do on Cultural Mix. That's what we aim to do at Fit FM 96.7. We're no one regular radio station. Because, may I tell you, say, the conceptualizer of this station is not a regular person. He's not a regular soul. He's not regular. And because he's not regular, what is happening here is not normal. We, as you tell me, look behind me, 96.7, with my number as being 7. And a 7 there at the end, you know, 96.7, you know what I mean? And when you turn that F around from fit, when you turn it round, it's a 7 that's looking at us. It's a 7. It's a 7 that's looking at us. Melody, look here now, this can't be a one evening conversation.
No. Much more to touch on.
It can't be a one evening conversation because right now at 8 o'clock. At 8 o'clock, you know, and the program end at 8 o'clock. I'm telling you, sister, we're going to talk back to you. We have a part 2 for Melody. So we're going to put the things now what we're going to talk about for part 2 because this is just the opening up, Melody. I just open, we're open. Just the start. Put on your calendar that we continue this conversation maybe next week, if your calendar will allow you. We just have the part 2 to Melody as we go now into the depth of numbers and how we are going to use our lives. That's what about next when we come back on the program. How we are going to use the numbers to guide our life.
Yep. I'm ready.
Thank you, my sister.
You're welcome.
Empress, you have been an inspiration this evening on Cultural Mix. And it is no buck up that we met. It is no buck up that you're on the program this evening. Everything happens in divine time, at the right time, in right order. Bless your heart, and we thank you for coming, and we're looking forward to part 2 of this conversation. You talk about awakened. Coming up right now is a piece of music from Aymara. Awaken, focus, no sleep in my eyes, because we can't sleep them time, you know.
No,
we have
work to do.
We have work to do, my sister. We're going to talk. We thank you so much for being here with us this evening. And we'll talk in the week because we're coming back next week with how we are going to use the numbers to guide our lives. Thank you, my sister. Enjoy the rest of the weekend. Keep strong. The strong end. Yes.
Strong
Keep
end.
strong. Keep strong. Keep strong. Arlene is saying, Bev, you learn quick. Blessings. Yes, Arlene, I learned quick. We learned quick. So thanks everybody who joined us. Kalula, thank you so much. Arlene, thank you so much. Tina, thank you. Kehi, thank you. Thank you, Christine. Thank everybody who joined us. We're going to come back next week and we're really going to talk about the numbers and how they must play an important part in our life, to be guided by our numbers and not to be afraid to talk about these things, because they will want us to believe that when we talk about these things, we're gone into some other thing. But we are going to go into those other things because we have to be in control of our life. Thank everybody for being with us. Thank you, Julia. Bring up the Aymara. Awaken, awaken. Folks, keep strong until we come back next week. Bev Moonchild saying, Cultural Mix here. We're coming back next week strong. Let us be awakened as we continue our journey. Thank you so much.
I signed up the eye. Early morning as I rise. Deep breathe and exercise. Feasting on the sunrise. Hold the iron reverence for my sons and wives. I'm awakened, no sleep in my eyes. Focus, I signed up the eyes. Awakened, no sleep in my eyes. I signed up the eyes. Water to my the way I break my fast. street, no retreat. Must be strong, can't be weak. Chant down Babylon, we won't accept defeat. I'm awakened, no sleep in my eyes. Focus, I sight up the eyes. Awaken, no sleep in my eyes. Focus, I sight up the eyes. Stop, oppressive. Got the massive passive. Implementing laws and orders so them rights them surrender. With them scriptures, psychological strictures. Fools keep cool adhere to their rules. Use like tools. Burden, heavy laden like a mule. For too long, battered, murdered by their weapons. Insistence and sustenance. Building institutions. Training intellectual morons, tactics of assimilations, grooming spies to maintain their lives. I was watching you from the corner of my eyes, seeing clearly through my spiritual lens, knowing that you are not my friend. Can't be tamed, can't be bent. Ooh, like a lion, broke from your den. Now a revolutionary in your territory, armed and dangerous, confidently knowing liberation is a must. I'm awakened, no sleep in my eyes. Focus, I sight up the eyes. Awaken, no sleep in my eyes. Focus, I sight up the eyes. No sleep in my eyes.
Cultural Mix, an exciting radio show